So, the trades video, a little bit later this afternoon. It's obviously been a lot of information that we've come across our desk over the last 24 hours, less even actually, 16 hours or something like that, with the Cleary news last night, with the potential May, good or bad news, not sure. Payne Haas as well, amongst Jacob Gagai as well. He's cooked. He's out of that team for the Bunnies. And go have a look at that squad as well. It's changed dramatically. You got Cheekham playing in the centres and Isaiah Tass on the wings. There's a lot there in that one. But before we get into my trades, I want to address the Terrell May situation and hopefully bring you some clarity around it, because I'm getting so many questions about him. So, right, Terrell. Options. First option. If he starts, right, expect good minutes. This week, expect a good score. But most likely, with the way that Robbo's been playing things, it'll be a one-hit wonder. And when I say that, it'll be a 1 week likely good score. And if that's worth it enough for you as a 1 week play, which potentially it's going to be from my side, then, and it works with your trades and you're happy to, you've got someone else that's a trade out as well, and you're happy to hold Terrell this week, that's cool. But be aware, obviously, it could be a good score, right? Let's just say it is. Let's just say it's a 55 this week, and then he goes back to some lower minutes next week. That would be obviously a bit of an annoying one, and you'd likely be trading him out next week anyway. The other side of that is he has about a 70 break even, which means even if he does get a 50 odd, he's going to lose a bit of cash. So if you are looking to trade him out anyway over the next few weeks, then maybe this week is just the correct week to do it. And it suits your trades. You don't have to muck around too much, and it's just the right decision. That might just be the clear option for you, that this week it is the correct trade and it just works best. That's option one. Option two is that you hold it for a 1 week rental, gets a good score for your team, helps you propel up overall rankings, maybe helps you win a head-to-head, but then you trade him out next week. The other one is you hold for the week. You don't have a real plan to trade him out. You hope that things turn around. After this week, he gets some good minutes. Maybe Hargraves can't play next week and calves are pretty lingering, but I would imagine he will be playing next week, given it's his 300th and they want him to play at home. It looks like that's going to be the best way to do it. It means a lot to him and all those sorts of things, and he deserves it. A cracking career, 300 games for a front row forward. Very, very impressive. So they're the main options for Terrell, guys. And look, the other one that people are going to do was Terrell to Jolliffe or Terrell to Max Plath. And if that just feels better to you and you were looking to do it anyway next week and you want to get the cash generation difference, so Terrell likely to get down to a 600, a 590 or something like that, even with a 50, and you want to go for Plath and you're hoping that he scores a 50 odd like he did last week and he goes up another 30, 40k, then that 60k is worth it enough for you, then that's the other way to go about it as well. We also need to speak about Cleary in this situation. So if you do own Nathan and you've got Terrell also, and maybe you could have Hines in this situation as well. And if you have Nico as well as Nath, then maybe you do sell Nath to just distribute those funds a little bit and get yourself some good plays in different positions. And then maybe Terrell is actually a hold this week and you can get his score. And instead of trading Terrell, you can trade Nath and distribute the money accordingly, getting some guns in your mids, or getting Garrick, getting Jerome Hughes, whoever you'd like to get in that situation there. Could be just the better play for you as well. So that's probably all your options on that one. You can hold Nath for another week. That's not a problem either, given it sounds like it was just he put up a little bit of tightness and he didn't want to, cause any issues potentially further with them having to travel. Shorter turnaround for them. I think they played on Saturday into the Thursday game this week, so a 5-day turnaround with the travel as well. Could be something to think about on that, in that standpoint. And that's for sure. That's the big one there. Obviously, not travel this week. It'd be travel to travel up somewhere. I think that they were saying on that for next week's game. Yeah. Anyway. Dolphins maybe the following week. Yeah, we'll work that out. But that's the decision with Terrell that you need to make. It hasn't been a great couple of weeks for sure, and Robbo's not giving us any clearer thoughts. If you are still potentially looking to trade him out, what a good thing is you can do is you've got the Bunnies up against the Panthers this week, tonight. And I think if you can just set your vice captain, set your captaincy up, hopefully you're not trading anyone in or out from those teams, and set it up accordingly and have Terrell there sitting in your interchange 4 like I've got here. And then see what happens come the 24-hour update at 8 p.m. tonight, or the 1 hour before final team list, and see what's happening in that situation. Because there's some people that are looking at maybe a Terrell to a Connor Watson. Maybe they're looking at trading out Brandon Smith. I want to see where things line up for their 13, well, their 17 even. With, does Radley come back this week? If he does, where does he play? Is he on the edge like Robbo was speaking about? Is he at 13 and Watson's back on the bench? And if that's the case, he's not a buy. Lots of things to think about. So that's probably the big two things. If you've got Payne Haas, I think it's a bit of a worry. I doubt that many people who are active are holding Payne Haas still, but he's got a knee. He's aggravated his knee. He was swelled up again after that game on the weekend, and he failed to finish training this morning or yesterday afternoon. I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah, that's a situation where I don't think he's going to get massive minutes over the next bunch of weeks, and I don't need him to either. So if you own Willison, I think that is pretty safe as well on that front. And there you go. All right, let's look at my trade. So obviously did really well last couple of weeks, got myself into 3,001. And if I'm not in the top 3,000 this week, there's something going wrong. And I've had a lot of injuries because I've full sending again. I'm going triple trade, and I'm just trying to get myself into as good a position as possible to actually give me a shot at winning this thing. I'm not here to get come 101st last year. I'm not here to come 800th or 1,000th. I want to get into that top 100 this year and try and have a crack at winning this thing, which is unlikely, but I think for me to have a chance at getting anywhere near that top 100, I need to make some moves now, and I'm going to try and absolutely launch this week. So this is the team that we've got right now. I'll go through the trades first, and instead of trading Terrell this week, I'm going to go for the points, unless things look weird in that 17, and in that case, I'll trade Terrell out instead of Joey Lussick. So at the moment, Lussick was going to be a trade out next week for me, likely to Ruben Garrick was my thoughts, and hopefully, if possible, could just do the one trade, would work out well, and we're on like Salmon and Hughes watch. But outside of that, I'm very, very happy with my team, and I don't want to be trading anyone out across the next couple of weeks anyway. And I will need to stop trading over the next few weeks for sure. One a week at max from here until the end of round 12, and then round 13 we can work out what we're doing there. So Gutho, Levi, and Lussick come out for Armstrong, Brayley, and Bateman. So Brayley becomes my secondary hooker, which is cool. I don't need the third with Lussick. We got Bateman, who comes in, and I just think he's the no-brainer points man this week. And Armstrong, I just think that he's one of those another cash cow that we probably need to really set up a really good 17. And I'm going to jump on the Armstrong train and get some cash out of Brayley and Bateman too. But we're looking for clear points from them. And hopefully if Armstrong plays well, he can sort of make us a couple 100K as well very quickly if he can be a 40, 42 or 43 type of scorer in the wing fullback position that plays in those big buy rounds in round 13, helps us in 14. And he misses 16? Misses 16, but yeah, that's fine. 13 and 14 is going to be super helpful, and then we can work out what we're doing with Armstrong from round 16 or 17 or something like that, right? That's my hope. Will it pay off? These are the risks you have to take, and it's worked out for me the last few weeks, taking that little bit of a calculated risk with Plath, definitely Plath there with Blory a couple of weeks ago, with Jolliffe and Fuller last week. They've all paid off, and hopefully I can continue to ride the hot streak. And I had a period last year where all my trades were going to gold, and hopefully it happens for me at this point this year. I didn't get any luck with the Gutherson one, but then I've had luck after that, and hopefully that keeps running on. There were different points last year. Obviously, the Dylan Brown situation, I got unlucky, and hopefully it sticks on strong here. But let's go through the team now, and I'm super happy with where it's at. And I do think that really, unless there's dramatic couple of injuries in really key positions, I can hold on a week-to-week basis here and not have to trade if I don't want to. So Harry Grant in the hooking position. We've got Cotter, Plath, and Jolliffe. So happy with that section. The edge, we're overloaded right now, which is great. Like, we've got so many guns. And Bateman comes in. I don't need another round 13 edge. So if he can come in and be around 14 middle, if he continues to stay in the 13 role, then that's great. But having him and Kaipi's Paul there, awesome stuff. Hines and Galvin, close to the best half combination you can have right now outside of Hines and Johnson, or Hines and Hughes, especially with Brown out this week. And Brown potentially is on my target list as well. And we'll get in and discuss my my buy planning as well and where I'm at. But half is a position I'm looking for around the 13 player, that's for sure. So yeah, Crichton and Bloor, very happy with. Hines and Galvin, awesome. Kale Iro and Karaz, I don't have to play Strange this week, which is good. So very happy for Jacob to be back, and lovely dual position man in my squad. Trey Fuller, a lot of people are targeting. Ryan Pappenhausen and David Armstrong, very happy with that wing fullback as well. And then my interchange is Bateman, Brayley, Kaipi's Paul, and Terrell May. That is absolutely OP. I'm super excited by that. If I was to be trading out Terrell instead of Lussick, I would have been playing, I think, Piakura. I was going to wait and see what happens with the Preston Salmon edge situation, because I probably would, the other option would be to play Salmon over Piakura. So right now I just don't have to play any of them. I will see how Strange goes, and I'll pop him in the number 5 jersey there in the emergency. If he happens to get like a 40-odd 50, then I think I could reverse the trade for Terrell, given it could just be a 1 week thing. And given Strange plays the 6 p.m. game tomorrow. And I could put Lussick back in there and take that score, stop the losses that Terrell might have this week, next week, whatever it is, and just take that score and go from there. So Piakura, Hughes, and Salmon are both just going to be in the emergencies, and that's fine. Look, they could come out and do well, and it benefits you guys. But if they don't come out, if they come out and get a 20-odd each, then most people will be playing like 2 out of the 3 of them. And if I can get away with sort of 45 plus from my bench, then I'll get that step ahead of a lot of people. And that's my goal this week, is to absolutely try and launch and soar into the top 2,000, 1,000 very quickly and get myself a chance to continue to do well. And next week as well, obviously with Cleary being out, it helps my squad. He'll be back, and yeah, that makes it a little bit tougher to kind of really pounce and make ranks. But in this week for me, it's my plan to go nuts and do that. So that's my theory. That's my plan there. Piakura against Manu, he's 100% going to be missing a bunch of tackles. So I'm a little bit worried about it. Happy enough now to have him in my emergencies and make some decisions on Piakura, on Salmon over the next sort of month, right? None of them are going to lose too much cash or, gain too much over the next few weeks. Salmon has the low break even. Piakura does as well. And so does Hughes. So that's a good situation. Strange, I'm just happy to hold whilst he's in this side. He's 446. He's not going to lose a chunk of cash either. So that's cool. That's my team, guys. Very happy with where I'm at. Hoping to continue, as I said, to make ranks and dominate over the next bunch of weeks. 50k left in the bank next week to either make a change with a Salmon or a May. We'll see how the May situation plays out, or if I keep him or not. And if I don't keep him, then Lussick might be the one to go. And as I said, there's no rush on those cheaper guys in my team, and just very happy with it overall. And we look at my buy cover, and I've got there now 12 or 13, 11 or 12. The reason I've got that in there is just if Hines actually plays Origin, which is looking more and more likely that he does, then I'm in a little bit of trouble in the half position. And that's the spot that using Cotter, using Terrell May, something like that, one of my middles, basically, or if an edge gets injured, I could use them to beef up the half position for round 13, because at the moment it's in a bit of strife. Or even if Strange plays half, or if I'm able to keep Salmon and Hughes for that time, I could use Plath down to half and maybe just get a Dylan Brown or a Sam Walker or something like that for round 13. That could work at this point. If I was trading Terrell out, I actually would have 17 on the park in round 14, which is nice. But at the moment it's 12 or 13, and that does include the couple of extras. I probably have one extra in the mid, I think I worked out, and I would need a couple in the half position. So that's probably where I'm lacking at the moment. So it's more likely like 11 that's kind of sorted at the moment. And yeah, just a couple of little switches in round 13 or over the next few weeks that could fill that out and make sure it gets to make sure it gets to 13. I'd like to make as many ranks as I can in that round, but if it happens to be a 12 player round, I'll still make ranks, but it won't be bulk. And I think for you guys, 11 normally will hold ranks in anywhere up to about the, 25 to 30,000 mark ranks wise. You'll be able to hold steady with 11. If you're past that, 30, 40, 50,000, there'll be a lot of people that aren't very active on sorting out their buy schedule, and you'll be able to make ranks, I think, with 11. And anything from 12 I think is pretty good, or 13. So don't overload it, and you don't have to do it right this second. You can kind of hold over the next few weeks if you want, and then make 3 or 4 trades in round 13. So you saved them here in this next few weeks to use a bunch in 13 and get yourself set up for the next bunch of weeks. Maybe there's a couple of nights on your radar, like a Gagai or something like that from round 13 that after their bye could be helpful, or Adam Elliott drops down a little bit, or something like that, right? That you can look at to make some decisions around your team. So that's really what I wanted to say there. Like, you look at my numbers here across those weeks, and it's getting better and better. 12 or 13 in round 13, 16, 18, 13, which is perfect, right on the dot already for round 16, 20 in round 17, awesome, got extras, 19 in round 18, beautiful, 11 or 12 in round 19 already, great, and then 19 in round 20. So if I was to make limited trades over the next bunch of weeks, that still sets me in good stead where I can actually hold. And that's the point of actually planning, is because I've used a lot of trades now, I have to plan to not use a lot through the bye period. And if things work out well for my team, I won't have to use a lot of trades just to chase, because I'm at in round 16, I've got 8 players playing, and I need to make 4 or 5 trades minimum outside of injuries to get myself to a 12, like a serviceable 12, to make good ranks and set myself up in a really good position. And again, I'm not playing, as I said, I'm not playing for like a 2000 finish. I've had, the 1500s, I've had the 800s in my time. Getting a taste of 101st last year, I know how to get there, and that's more fun for me. Just pushing for glory rather than getting a serviceable 800th or something. And like, some of you might be listening to this and going, oh, like 800th is great. 100% 800th is great, but I do spend most of my week 40 or 50 hours at least thinking about making content about fantasy, and I want to show you guys how you can win this. And that's the goal of this this channel, is to show you how to show you how to win, help you have a great time. Obviously, listening to someone, bouncing ideas off someone in comments and stuff like that. That's all part of it. But I want to at least show you how to get there. I haven't won myself yet, but I've been close. Top 50, 101st last year, things like that a couple of times. So that's helpful, and I want to be able to show you the way. So that's my thoughts and theories coming into round 9. It's still fairly early, but if we can get yourselves in a great position now, and then we do have to save trades at some point, because 18 to get me from round 10 all the way through until round 20, there's 2 a week. It's like, if you wanted to use all of them, it's 2 a week. It's not the worst in the world, but I would like to save a few to have left coming into sort of around 2021, maybe 2 left to have plus the 8 that we end up receiving. And from that standpoint, then we can use 10 trades over the last 8 rounds to have a great year. So really, it's not the end of the world using ridiculous amount of trades over the next few weeks. We have been using 2 a week for the most part. I've used 3 2 weeks ago, and I've used 3 this week so far. If you're in the same boat, it's not the end of the world at all. If you're at 20, 21, 22 after trades this week, you're in a great position, and it's a better trade spot than me. And you may be able to get me in some weeks, catch up some ranks. But I'm going to push hard now and get to a position where I've got some hope of winning this thing. So there you go. That's my team. Let's have a look at the head-to-head squad now, which is in a much different situation to that of my team here in the overall standpoint. The head-to-head squad. Poor me. How good's this? Have you seen my captain yet? Ethan the Goat Strange. He's sitting there as captain at the moment. I was having a bit of a laugh at that. I was like, I changed because I needed to buy a center this week, or buy a half, either way. So I was like, I'll buy the center, and I moved Strange out of center, moved Garrick, the new purchase, in, and then I was like, Strange in for Cleary, and it swaps the captaincy straight onto him. So what do you reckon? Just send it with Ethan the Goat Strange out there. This week, he's going to get all the kicking meters. He's going to score a try. He's going to set up one to Seb Chris, who everyone's selling as well. And it's going to be an absolutely cracking Friday at 6 p.m. That's for sure, when he goes over for that try in the 8th minute. So 6:08 there when he goes over. No, I'm kidding. That won't be the case, and we will definitely change that here. But Cleary is being held. That's the starter in the head-to-head squad. There's a few issues. Kind of happy, obviously, with the Gutho situation. Helps my head-to-head potentially if Talangi gets a spot. I have it about a 50-50 chance, guys, between him and Dejan Asi as to who's going to get that fullback slot. So yeah, just keep that in mind with what you're doing with your team. But obviously, got cooked over the last few weeks. Like, what's funny, what's sad to be fair, we're sitting at almost 13,000 round 1, down to 4,300 round 2, 4,400, and then it's just gone backwards over the last few weeks. 14,000, 21,000, down to 13,000, 16,000, up to 26. So just a collection of some bad luck, some holding of Cleary, some bad decisions, mixture of it all, right? Puts us in this position now. So we need to get some wins on the board. And I toyed with the fact of removing Cleary, but without Hines, I don't have a real clear way to get Hines here. Like if I removed one of these trades here, let's just say it's the Plath one, like made a Plath, and I tried to go Cleary to Hines, I can't get there, which is frustrating for sure. So I looked at this and went, well, I'm going to want Cleary next week. He can be my captaincy next week. I'll just get away with it this week with Carrigan, with Tohu Harris again, or something like that is probably the simplest way, which is what I've done over the last few weeks, apart from last week, captain and Cleary. So I think Tohu, he played limited, less minutes last week. I think he'll have a crack again. So he can just be my captain and hope for a 60, which would be good. And I'm just going to send these trades and see what happens. So in my overall team, I'm going to hold Terrell. In the head-to-head side, I'm going to go for that play that I was talking about the money-making potential. And I'm a little bit down on that, given I've had a tougher kind of few weeks there at 11.75. So I'm going to go for that cash grab. And if Terrell, it's probably likely going to be a sell next week anyway. So I'm just going to go for it. Him to Plath in this side. Salmon's actually going to go out to Armstrong. I just can't do the Chan option. So Salmon's going to go this week, just probably a week early, but that's fine. He goes to Armstrong. And then Moses Sully, I was toying with the one of holding him and just having him as some center cover, and then going for, instead of Sully, going Chan out at 347. That's the other one. Or potentially, could I just go? I'm just short of going to... No, perfect. Actually, can go get up by 1K if I go Talangi and hold Sully, but obviously Sully's going to lose some cash over the next few weeks as well after the head knock. But he can cover... He has a buy in round 11. He covers round 13 in the center position for me. So, look, there's a potential that I do switch the Sully trade out for Talangi, but also want to know and want to see if he's going to be the guy at fullback next week, because that will be very helpful in an ongoing basis. If it is 5 weeks for Gutho, then he could miss round 13, which would be really cool for Talangi holders, that's for sure. Anyway, Sully goes to Garrick, and that just covers me for the center position. So let's look at the squad now and go through it. So Brandon Smith, he is a hold this week for me. Has to be, because I'm not getting Brayley. So that's the one next week that we'll look at for sure, is that of Jaden Brayley, and it could just be a straight swap of Brandon Smith to him. Got 70k in the bank, so that's not a problem at all. We'll definitely have a look at that one there. Dylan Brown comes back next week, so that's going to be very helpful, along with Nathan Cleary. So I was like, I was looking at Sam Walker instead of Garrick, and I was like, well, Brown. If I hold Cleary, that means I got Brown and Cleary coming back with Galvin, and I don't need one for another half for the next 3 weeks. So that's fine. Strange will then be my center cover, along with potentially Blaze Talangi next week. And then Garrick, if Talangi's there, he can be cover, which is cool. He can play next week, whatever we decide that to be. And then I've got Garrick, Pap, Turbo, and Drinkwater as my solid options in that point, which is cool. And then Turbo and Garrick this week as the combination against the Raiders. Hopefully that works out. I think we better move that captaincy off Strange before I actually forget. That's for sure. But so it goes on Tohu Harris, and we'll put the Vice on. How good's Galvin? So let's put the Vice on him for now. But it really should be on one of the teams that plays first. So always have a look at that, guys. Put on team that plays first. So that's the Wagonskis. That's the where are we? There we go. That's the South is the first one up against obviously the Panthers. Don't have anyone in that game there. So then it's Eagles up against Raiders. So you could put it on like a Turbo or Garrick this week. Like if he's locked in playing, you'd probably want to put it on Tommy, because he's going to be that second game there. And if you think Tohu's fine to play, then that's cool. Otherwise, pop it on your second best score if you want to just do it that way. But usually if you can get your second, third, fourth best score, like a Crichton, like I did in my team, playing in the third game, pop the VC on him, we're all sweet. Then, then you're cool like that. So that's where you want to see that one. I've got Piakura in my looping slot this week. I'm going to pop him in the number 5 early and see what we're doing with him. If we like his score, awesome. We'll leave Dylan Brown where he is. And if we don't like his score, if it's a 20 or 15 or something like that, then we will bring Chan in ahead. But I think it's going to take anything above a 28, to be honest, to play Piakura ahead of Chan. He got a try last week and he got big tackle break numbers the week before. I'm not sure if it can continue off the bench with a turnover tackle as well. So, yeah, that's where I'm at in this squad. It's definitely nowhere near as pretty. Brandon Smith, Cotter, Plath, Tohu Harris is obviously a little bit above that of Jolliffe, Blore, and Crichton. Same situation there with Kai Pearce-Paul, but I'm missing Bateman in this team. Galvin and Strange, yeah, not nowhere near it. The quality of the Hines situation. Iro and Garrick is a win. I think it's about the same, obviously, with Karaz. And then Pap, Turbo, and Drinkwater is ahead of where I'm at in my overall team. But obviously, Fuller hits 68s, and you could probably say he's better than these guys. But Drinkwater against the Dolphins this week, Turbo against the Raiders, and then Pap against the Titans is a really, really nice set of matchups for sure for my back three. I've got the wing fullback cover with Armstrong this week. It could be like an Atkinson, but again, I don't need, outside of this week, I don't need the cover in the half position. And yeah, obviously Cleary on the bench is a bit OP. Not playing, but yeah, come on, man, sort it out. Hopefully the hammy's good. Hughesy in there, hopefully he does get some good minutes. We have to find out again in sort of tomorrow's 3 p.m. update. So if you can wait again till 3 p.m., maybe Preston gets into the starting side by that point. If he's off, if he gets taken off the extended list, then that's great for obviously Jamin Salmon, or I think good for Hughes as well. That to make sure that he can get some minutes there, and Salmon and these guys aren't taking it. But Hayward played 50 minutes last week, and maybe he gets somewhere near that again. And I think he would probably come off the bench out of the side if Preston was to return, and Salmon back into the bench or the middle. So yeah, we'll see how that one plays out for sure. And I think we'll leave it at that, guys. Let me know where you're at with your trades this week. Hopefully that the beginning there helped you with some clarity around what to do with Terrell. It's a little bit of an awkward week just with him, obviously, and this makes, people have kind of gotten through the fact that he's gotten the lower minutes, and it's like, all right, we'll trade him out. It still looks weird trading him, like straight swapping him for a Plath or something, when we know that Terrell has 60s and 70s in his game. But now to know that there's a good chance that he plays big minutes, just keep an eye out for last minute stuff. And it's all happening at the moment. But yeah, good luck with your trades. Good luck with this week. Round 9 is going to be a fun one for sure. Hopefully there's some really good scores again, and teams can get anywhere between that sort of 800 to 1,000 again. Fantasy is so much more fun when players are doing well. And you can enjoy your weekends a little bit more when you're having a beer with your mates or watching it at home, doing whatever you do. So yeah, that's that one, guys. See ya in the next lot.